Hi, it's Willie Crawford, and I am back with you, uh, sharing video number three of my series on 101 ways to make $1,000 per day online. And this is method number three. Let's get into it. And you can see I'm using my ghetto slides again. Method number three is ranking and renting websites to local businesses. So let's talk about a realistic, proven system to produce $1,000 a day without relying on e-commerce, crypto, or chasing the latest fad. And it is a rank and rent model, which has been around for years. But in 2005, we've got all these fancy AI tools, which make it faster, cheaper, easier, almost instant, actually, and more predictable than ever. Let's talk about that $1,000 per day goal first of all. With this model, you can easily, I don't know, just focus on creating one or two websites a day. One website a day is a good thing to do. And after 30 days, you'll have 30 websites. But if you're slow, you could even do one a week. And after, you know, a month, you'd have four. But what we're doing here is we're building up to um, that $1,000 per day. See, the thing is, we're going to rent these websites out for $500 to $1,000, 500 to $2,500 a day, depending on the niche and space and all that stuff. Depends on who you rent to. And this is going to be month after month. So after 30 days, if you did one website a day, you'd be at $1,000 per day. And not only that, you'd be at $30,000 per month in consistent, uh, dependable revenue. So let me look at my slide. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a small, local focused website targeting a niche and a city. And the niche, you want to target something where businesses need customers and they're willing to pay $500 to $2,500 per day, um, $500 to $2,500 per month to rent your website. You know, if you rent to a local florist, um, the flow of business in a big city might be worth it to them to pay 500 to $2,500. But if you rent it out to a cosmetic surgeon or a dentist or a lawyer or whatever, their clients, of course, have a lot higher um, lifetime value, and so they will pay more for each client. So you need to think about the niche first of all, and you also need to think about the city. And these are things I cover in my training. Um, I'll teach you how to uh, research cities and the demographics and the average income and average price of housing and average whether the city's growing or not. Um, Things like crime rates, all those things to pick cities and locations that you and niches that you want to build this website in. Once you build the website, you're going to rank it in Google and in AI search results. Lately, uh, when you do a search on Google, even Google's going to show you results from using AI tools, like Chat GPT, and it'll show you those results um, chat because those tools, those AI tools, are now when someone uses those tools to do a search or whatever, or do research, if they don't turn off certain modes in the tools, then that tool uses that research they're doing for learning. And so as the tool, the AI is learning, it's also storing it in a database that shows up in searches on Google. So it's interesting. And so I teach in my training how to tap into that basically, how to position your content and your research so that it shows up in the AI searches. Okay, once you get that site built uh, and you start ranking it, you can then rent it out to local business that needs leads, basically. And the reason it works is that businesses need leads. Again, they'll have, there are businesses that'll happily pay $500 for a lead. Some will pay a lot more than that. It depends on again, the value of the customer. Um, I actually have a PDF where I show the top 100 highest paying niches for generating leads, and the highest one is actually private jet rental, but there's a lot of others, and I'll try to remember to post a link to that PDF for free in uh, in the description to this beneath this video. Okay, but again, what you're doing is you're renting a website out. So it's like real estate. It's like renting out an apartment or an office building or whatever. It's monthly recurring income, and you control the asset. So you set the rules, and the benefit of this model actually is if once you get that site ranked for something like uh, Bronx or Manhattan cosmetic dentist or whatever, uh, if the person renting that site out stops renting it, doesn't want to rent it from you anymore, you can turn around and rent it to one of their leading competitors. They know this, and so they are going to keep running the site forever. It's a very powerful model, something I've been doing for about 10 years now, since 2015. You control the asset, it's yours. And a few quick examples I give here is City Plus service, so Manhattan cosmetic surgery or uh, tree removals is a good niche to be in. Roofing, because houses need to have their roofs replaced every 30 to 40 years. Legal services, cosmetic dentistry, and you want to rank for high intent a local keyword. What you want to rank for is keywords that show that the person is looking to buy. When somebody goes to Google and they type in certain questions that indicate they're not just researching for a high school or college research paper, or term paper. They're actually looking to buy something and they're comparing, and so they ask certain questions. And when you do a search on Google, Google actually gives you examples of those what questions people are asking. So you want to target those. We call them long tail keywords. It shows buyer intent, not that they're not just researching a topic, but they're actually looking to buy. So that high intent local keyword. Um, some question like, where's the best place to rent a car? Who offers the best car rental rates in Salt Lake City? That person's looking to rent a car, and so a car rental place would love to have a site that puts them in front of that. And then you're going to rent this to one local business, or you can actually sell the lead to several businesses. You can set it up so that uh, you you can set up certain software so that when someone uh, types in, city plus roof repair, that you farm that lead out to, I don't know, three or four local roofers. You fire it off to them via different methods. You can use software, you can fire it off to a phone number, to an email address, whatever, and you charge them per lead, but you fire it off to like three to five different businesses, and the one that gets the sale is the one that's the fastest in responding and offers the best rate. And so what you're doing there actually is you're allowing the consumer to compare rates. This is a very powerful model. Uh, I may touch on that a little more in my training. I'm actually revising my training right now. I'm going to roll it out on Monday, August 11th. And so I still have time to update it and put in there how you can farm one lead out to multiple businesses. And it's a very powerful model though. But it's all AI driven. And let me look at this. It You can use AI to find the most profitable niches. You can use AI to help you create optimized content in minutes. And that content is what's going to be indexed by the search engines and by AI tools. You can use it to optimize that content so that it shows up in more places. And you can even use AI to help you close a deal with business owners. Uh, for example, in my training, I teach using an agent. I have a website I've ranked for Manhattan cosmetic dentist. I can then scrape or buy a list of all the cosmetic dentists in Manhattan, and I can s have a, agent, an AI agent mail every one of those dentists one at a time, offering them my website for rent. I can also have an AI agent if I choose to call each of those dentists and offer that website for rent. So that's what makes uh, the method I teach more easier. The hardest part before was reaching out to businesses, and now I'm teaching you how to do that automatically. As long as the business lists its uh, business contact information on a website or in a database, wherever on LinkedIn or whatever, you're okay in reaching out to them via email. You're not spamming them if you're using their business contact information. If you phone them, you're not violating the laws against even robocalling and things like that. As long as you call their business phone number and they're not on a do not call list. So, you know, uh, I teach you how to get around some of those rules. You could theoretically set up an AI agent to call 100 different businesses or email 100 different businesses. You could just tell it to uh, use your Gmail account and a spreadsheet that you have stored in Google Docs to just run down the spreadsheet and send out one email an hour to different businesses. And when that business responds, you can even have your agent check the email looking for the response. And if the prospect has questions, you can have your agent, your AI agent, respond to that using a list of frequently asked questions or whatever. And then you can have the agent pass that prospect onto a live person when they respond in a certain way. So it's the whole process of prospecting for a potential renter is much easier than it used to be. Um, because AI can help you to close the deal and get that renter. Um, and you can outsource it if you want to. So I put it, you don't need to be a web designer or an SEO wizard. You can process the outsource um, and templates and checklists and AI prompts do all the heavy lifting. Chat GPT, for example, is a tool I use every day, multiple times a day. Um, so you can start out with like one site written for $1,000 a month. That's 12 grand a year just from one site. If you had 10 of those sites, then you got 120 grand a year with very little overhead. And I point out in my course that I break down certain things. And I keep mentioning my course because uh, this is an overview of the method, but my course teaches it very in depth. And that's a course that I actually, you can just listen to this and you could piecemeal it together yourself. But I've been doing this since 2015. And I've recently, uh, I've spent over 1,000 hours just studying AI and the AI tools. And then I've learned to incorporate that into how I do my method now. So in the course, I break down though step by step how to pick your money niche, how to build a site. You can build a site in under an hour with the right tools, and how to rank in both Google and AI search. And then again, how to land paying renters fast. And I already told you one of the ways to do that is to use agents, AI agents, which is just um, an AI program which is programmed to not just do one thing, which would be like a chat bot, but you can program it to do a dozen different things in sequence and make decisions. And it's very powerful. You just tell it to go do this, and it does it, and then it comes back and says, "Okay, I'm finished. Here are the results." Um, and that's this short video just gives you an overview. You can ask questions in the comments section below the video here, which I'll post on YouTube among other places. And I promise to answer most of them, but I'm not going to, you know, spend hours giving you my exact system because I have that system in a course on. And the course is called How to Rank and Rent Websites. It's the 2025 AI edition. And it gives you the exact blueprint I use. It gives you scripts, tools to easily create a $1,000 a day income stream. And so let me go ahead and pitch my course because I've got the pitch posted all over the internet now. And the ads that I have out there read pre-launch how to rank and rate websites 2025 AI edition. Says lock in at 497 before it jumps to 997 on Monday, August the 11th. So between now and midnight on August the 10th, it's 497. After then, it's going to jump to 997 and it'll stay at 997 for the plan is a month, and then it'll jump to 1497. Rank and rent websites still work in 2025. A lot of things that are changing as far as search engine optimization, but AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini are changing how people find local businesses. They're asking questions of these AI. More people are probably using ChatGPT now as a search engine than they are Google. So they go to ChatGPT and ask questions, like, how do I do this? And ChatGPT answers the question, but what ChatGPT or Perplexity or Gemini does also is it gives um, references for where it found the answers. And so what I'm teaching to an extent is how to make sure that when you are that you're positioned so that your business shows up in the answers, and that'll so your sites that you're running are going to rank very high in Google because of the way that you position them. In my course itself, I'm going to teach how to pick profitable niches. I already covered some of that, but I'll show you some tools and things like that, and then how to launch a fully functioning website in under an hour. Um, that that's like magic, but it's using AI and magic tools. And then how to rank and rent both in Google and AI assistants, and how to find renters fast, like I've just talked about, and how to close deals with AI-driven outreach, which I covered to an extent by talking about um, AI agents, which are a series of chatbots to an extent that go out, do something, get an answer, and then go back to a central control piece of AI, which then makes a decision and can reach out to any of a dozen or hundreds of different other tools. You can set up your AI so that it connects to, I don't know, Gmail or your payment processor or Google Docs or any of a dozen other and any of 100 other tools. And so the AI decides what needs to be done next and it does it. And then it comes back and says, okay, you know, I've done the task and you can go on and do something else now. Spend your time doing something else. But uh, in my course, I cover, scaling. We're talking about making $1,000 per day. If you have, you know, enough sites at $1,000 a day, it's easy. Actually, after 30 days, if you're renting a site at $1,000 a month, after 30 days of building one site a day, you're at that level. You're getting $1,000 a day, so it's not that difficult. And again, right now, I'm doing a pre-launch special, sort of like a founder's special, if you will. But you get lifetime access to all my training because I will update my training from time to time. And because AI is changing so fast that it's going to change. And so I will, look at my training and as necessary, update it, and you'll have lifetime access to that training. Right now, it's a pre-launch special, and it's only $497 on Monday, August 11th. When I relaunch it to the world, it'll be at 997. So you're saving $500, and you are also jumping into a space that very few people are even aware of. There are lots of people who invest in real estate, but your cost to invest in real estate is just the cost of web hosting and a few pieces of software, and then you go out and you find a tenant, and you don't really have all the headaches of dealing with like physical real estate where when the air conditioning breaks or something goes wrong with the plumbing or whatever, or a renter's not paying, you got to deal with all the hassles and courts and all kinds of things. Here, if the renter chooses not to rent, again, you just go to one of their competitors, and they know that you can do that. In fact, you should let them know you can do that, and they'll keep renting. Why would a dentist who, if he's good, uh, can upsell a patient. A patient comes in for cleaning and he spots something and they end up getting a root canal or dental implants or whatever. And then that patient comes back twice a year, for cleanings and checkups. And so that patient could be worth, thousands of dollars. And so that dentist won't mind paying, $1,000 a month to rent a site that's bringing in customers. And that's basically what I do. Again, I've been doing this since 2015. This launch I'm doing right now is not my main business. In fact, I don't really care how many people sign up for the launch for my training. Training's 497. It's going to go to 997. But I'm I'm not really. I don't really care how many sales I make. What I care is that people who purchase my training actually use it, and so I'm making it as easy as humanly possible to apply it and get the results. I'm all about results. I want my students to get the results, and then when you get the results, I want a nice testimonial from you saying that, I don't know, you're a retired 65-year-old or 70-year-old, and you got $1,000 a day coming in like clockwork, and you're out fishing in the Gulf of Mexico with your grandkids or whatever, or on a cruise or whatever, but you're enjoying life because you don't have to work so hard. That's what I'm all about. So go ahead and lock in the launch price. I'm going to post below this video a link for you to order. And as long as you order by midnight Central Standard Time on August 10th, it's 497. At midnight, the price is going to jump to 997. This is Willie, and this is a proven method for generating $1,000 per day. You just need to really have a 30 websites running for $1,000 a month on average, and you're at $1,000 a day. You're at $30,000 a month. So this is powerful. It's proven, and please give the video a like. Please share it with people who can use this information, people looking for something to do that's an easy way to make money that's proven. And leave your comments in the comment section. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm. So it encourages me to keep putting out useful content that you can benefit from. I'm all about being of service to others, but I at the same time need to be incentivized somehow. So knowing that YouTube shares my content and YouTube actually pays me uh, uh, through their AdSense program for my videos, and so that's pretty powerful too. I'm rambling, and I'll have another video ready for you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. This is Willie.